Hey everyone, Bonsai. I'm the Cobra Kai Kid. Welcome to this stream. Today I am joined by a fellow Cobra Kai fan by the name of Sam. How are you doing today,
Hey,
Sam?
I'm doing quite good today.
Very glad to have you on. Thank you
Yeah,
for coming onto the channel.
yeah, yeah. It's an honor. Literally, it's been my dream to do stuff similar to this. Since I first heard of Cobra Kai and since I started watching your channel, basically.
Thank you, thank you.
Mm.
So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yes.
Who you are?
So as Drew just mentioned, my name is Sam. I am 16 years old currently. And I was diagnosed with autism at the age of around, I think it was like 3 years old or something. So I've had autism most of my life, and yeah, it's not been an easy way to get to where I am today, but I've strived through all the times where I felt like just quitting, and yes, here I am today, doing this amazing stream with Drew and having amazing friends.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk a lot.
Yeah,
You know, you told we actually talked. What inspired this is Sam actually joined my members only live stream, and that's how I found
yeah,
out. Like about his story about like being bullied, and as you can tell from the title, Cobra Kai and karate helped you like to overcome the bullying. So I'm very excited to talk to you about that and like to
yeah,
hear like your story because you've really said you've come a long way, and like
yeah,
that's like remarkable. Like it's just like a movie or a TV show how like characters go through their arcs. They go through character arcs. They
yeah,
start one way, they start at their lowest, and then they go through a lot of struggle and they end at their highest. Just look at Johnny. Look at
yeah,
Johnny at the beginning of Cobra Kai. He was like living by himself. He was nothing. And then now you see him like working and life is getting better for him. So that's like his arc. So before we actually talk about it, I know you have a YouTube channel. Do you want
yes,
to
I do.
tell everyone the name of the channel and what
Yep,
kind of stuff you're going to post on there?
yep. My channel is called Sam's Autistic. Oh, let me just get up. I forgot the name. I always forget it. Sam's Autistic World. So basically, what I'll be uploading will obviously, I'll be doing Cobra Kai videos like Cobra Kai theories, predictions, maybe in the future some interviews, hopefully. Um, and also be doing also doing some vlogs, like documenting what it's like to live with autism, maybe doing a bit of gaming in there as well. And yeah, so basically, it's basically like anything that I really want to. Basically, I've not really thought of it much because um I literally just created it a couple of days ago. So yeah, and the fact that I've got like subscribers that are not even a week into it is just amazing.
That's great.
Mm.
So everyone, I linked it in the description. We have 132 people watching, so I hope Sam gets 132 new subscribers. So it's in the description. So go follow Sam's YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is what I love about YouTube is you don't have people telling you what to upload.
Mm.
You choose what you want to upload, and even if it gets 10 views, even if it gets a million views, it's whatever you want.
Yeah,
um and you're like the creator, and when you upload you get to feel proud of it. So
yeah.
I'm happy that you're doing that. You should definitely
Mm.
do it and do what you love doing
Yeah,
on
well, I've
YouTube.
actually do have like quite a big ambitious project in the works right now that's probably going to be uploaded probably either towards the end of this year or next year. I'm not sure which one though.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
So I guess we'll have to just subscribe
Yeah,
to stay tuned. So
yeah,
so I'm curious how you actually got into Cobra Kai and Karate Kid. What
yeah.
made you fall in love with it?
Well, obviously when I actually got into it through family because my granddad, the legend that he is, he actually went to see the original Karate Kid movie when it first released in cinemas in 1984. And then he went to see all three actually. Then what all three. Then he took my mum and my mum's brother to see Karate Kid 3. I think it was in 1985 or something. Then obviously then I was born. Then when I was about 3, 4 years old, my brother was like he like obviously he didn't say these exact words, but something along the lines of like, "Hey Sam, there's this really cool movie called Cry Kids. We should watch it." Then we sat down, watched it, and I got like so engaged to it, and I could totally relate to Daniel LaRusso, and so that's when I started doing karate. I took karate for professional karate for about almost 10 years, and then I moved to when Cobra Kai season 1 was released. I started watching Cobra Kai about 2 to 3 months after season 1 released on YouTube. Um, I that's when I started doing self-taught karate, and in self-taught karate I'm now a black belt. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then obviously I got so engaged into Cobra Kai that I bought season 1. Then obviously season 2 came out, and then YouTube Premium came out. I only bought the first 2 episodes of season 1. Then season 2 and YouTube Premium came out, so I purchased YouTube Premium, and started watching season 2. And then I started typing up Cobra Kai on YouTube to see what type of people were making Cobra Kai related content. And then that's when I came across Drew. The first video I saw was your episode 1 recreation video. And I thought that it was so cool. And then obviously I found Shamoon, also known as Cobra Kai Nation, and yeah, just started finding a load of cool content creators, and yeah, basically my karate passion basically just took off from there.
That's great. That's a really cool story. I was on the opposite side where I watched Cobra Kai before Karate Kid, so you got like so many different like ways people have watched it. But yeah, you were there since the beginning, since the YouTube days, which
Yeah.
is cool. It's awesome. So, do you want to talk about because you've said that you were bullied, you had a
Yeah.
base bullying. Can you talk about like was it kids from your school? Was
Yeah,
it
it was
stuff online, and like what sparked the bullying?
well, it was mix. Probably what sparked the bullying was because I I was different than the other kids. Because obviously when I was like young, I didn't know I was different then. Because obviously when we're young, we all act the same. We all act like kids.
Yeah.
So obviously when I got a bit older, I think at the age of like 5 or 6, that's when my mum first told me that I had autism. So then, obviously, like now I do like a lot more research on autism, and also the reason I'm starting this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, is to help other people like have a place where they can be like themselves. And yeah, so the bullying side, it was more like before I moved schools, because I'm in a different school now, a lot better for me. Like in my old school, when I was like in year 7, begin year 8, that's UK school. Um, I was bullied quite badly, and also through most of my younger school years. So I think for Americans, it would be like elementary school type thing. But I say it's like quite young, up to like just before you move into like high school ish.
Yeah.
And so I got quite bullied badly, and I was like suicidal thoughts. and self-harming. So and main reasons I got bullied was because I've got a bit of a stutter, and I also have tics, sort of like Tourette's. When I first developed my tics, we all thought that it was Tourette's. So we went to our local doctor to have some tests. Found out that it wasn't Tourette's. It's just I've developed them through my autism, an autism trait, as what we call it. And so I did get bullied for that, and I also got bullied for a one of my facial formalities, I think it's called, because when I was younger, I not accidentally knocked down a glass vase and it smashed, and a piece of glass got stuck in my lip, like just above it. So I had to go into surgery, and they pulled it out, and I had to get some skin replacement thing to patch it over where it was bleeding. So it's basically the stuff from after the surgery, similar to like Hawk's scar. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been quite a rocky road with the bullying. Yeah, it's been quite a rocky road with the bullying, and it's the bullying. Like obviously, bullying went on to like I still do get discriminated in public. For obviously, if I go out like get some food, I do get discriminated for my stutter and my tics, and for my sometimes I like hit my head with one of my tics. Like I have both verbal and physical tics, and yeah, and also I get a lot of racist comments thrown at me, like because I'm part Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes I could say like slip into like kind of like how people in gangs talk. So like, sometimes people get me confused for like being in a gang, and I also hang out with like I hang out with someone who used to be in a quite a well-known gang in my local area. So people still think that he's like active, but he's not. He just like helps me out, and yeah. So I did get discriminated about that, and yes, but now it's mainly like just discrimination, and like sometimes I'll get the occasional hate on like Instagram and that, but I've gotten used to that, and I just ignore that. And yeah, and I think the time when I was at my lowest point was about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I actually was the victim of a crime. I got assaulted and robbed. They hit me in the back and stole my phone.
What?
So yeah, and I lost all confidence then. Like, I lost all my self esteem, would not go out alone at all. And yeah, basically, but it took like about a couple months to about a year for me to get back. Then obviously, the pandemic happened, so that knocked my confidence back down because obviously we all had to self isolate and quarantine. So that um took my confidence back down. And obviously I've got social anxiety, so it's like for me I find it hard to like give good eye contact. And also I can't really give eye contact because I actually sometimes have to lip read because I'm actually 95% deaf in one ear. So yeah, it's not been I've not had the easiest of lives, I can guarantee that, but as you can tell, I've pulled through it, and I'm still going strong. Obviously, I'm still trying to like find out who I am and that. But I feel like I'm on the right path right now. I feel like I'm on the right path with the right crowd in this with this amazing community that formed off of Cobra Kai and Karate Kid. I really feel at home now, like with the friends that I've got and the people that I hang out with.
Yeah. So how did that happen? How did you go from being bullied and feeling so depressed to now you're saying you feel happy? Like
Yeah.
what made that happen? How did you do it?
Well, about 6 years ago, I joined this drama group. A teacher at my old school was like noticed like that I was getting bullied and that I was upset. So she like came over to me on the because what we have over here in England is when you go to a new school, you have something called an induction day where you go to have a look around and a taster day. Where you like, but it's basically like a day in a life sort of thing before you actually move up to that school.
Hmm.
So basically, there was this induction day at my secondary school slash high school, and basically, one of the teachers pulled me aside and said, "Are you fascinated in singing at all?" Because I think she heard me sing. I think I was singing oh the 7 Years Old by Lucas Graham,
Oh, love that
which
song.
is my one of my favorite songs, and I still sing it to this day. And she said, "Do you fancy joining this drama group that I teach?" And yeah, so I decided to go to this drama school. It was a summer workshop, so it was a week, I think. So I went to it. It was loads of fun. I met loads of new friends, and that's when like, and then I signed up to do the weekly thing, which I still do to this day. I've been doing it for like 6 years now. So yeah, then that's where like I started to build a lot of my confidence through acting and singing and dancing because I knew I was a little confident in singing, but not 100%. I was not confident at acting then. No, I absolutely hate. Well, I did like dance, but I didn't like performing. So dances I did then was like before I joined I did salsa, burlesque, hip hop, street slash break dancing, ballet, tap, all sorts. And then obviously about 3 years ago I quit burlesque because of my medical conditions. And yeah, so then I met this really nice girl at my drama group and this really nice lad. They really helped me like grow in my confidence and obviously helped me to get to where I am now. But sadly they did leave drama a couple mm, in 2019, so I am sad about that. But I still keep in contact with them through social media and obviously sometimes I may bump into them if I'm lucky enough. And then obviously since doing drama I've really developed my skills and yeah, so basically that's really helped me with bullying and so has karate because karate has really taught me like what Miguel Diaz said in when he did that speech about saving the tournament. Karate is about inner strength. It's about
Discipline.
confidence. It's
Yeah.
about self-discipline. It's about confidence. Lessons that you can use for the rest of your life. And that is true. That is a true fact. Because I've used them lessons through all my life. And I literally do not know where I would be today or who I would be if it wasn't for my drama friends, Drew, obviously, Shamoon, Cobra Kai, Peyton List, because and I also actually found out about Cobra Kai through Peyton List, the one who plays Tory Nichols,
Yeah.
because I've seen it in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, seen it in
Jesse
some yeah
Bunked.
Jesse,
Yeah.
yeah I've seen in a few Nickelodeon things, Disney things, yeah, and basically that's where my love of Cobra Kai came from because I wasn't really that invested in Cobra Kai then. I only watched the first two episodes. Then obviously, then season two came out. Then I think it was my friend was telling me, "Yo, Peyton List is in this new Cobra Kai thing," and I started obviously from season one, episode one because I've not watched in a while. then obviously I saw someone did a recreation. Then obviously I watched your recreation, and but it was like super cool and how you got like all the shots and like got it to the exact time. And like even though you didn't have like the same amount of actors, you still made it work, which I found to be like quite incredible, really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and then obviously started watching Cobra Kai, and I am where I am right now.
That's great. So you would say it was joining the drama club, the theater is what really turned it around for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then top that off with doing karate, watching
yeah,
Cobra Kai, seeing Miguel's journey, right? Was it
yeah,
all of those things like
yeah,
combined?
yeah. Mainly, what really helped me in the Cobra Kai perspective was seeing Miguel go from like this bully kid to where he's now, and mainly seeing Eli Moskowitz, or more commonly known now as Hawk, go through his journey from being a bullied kid, like doing like this all the time, hiding his lip, to now him having like that civical, cool mohawk, him like standing up to now like, and that season 3 finale where he got back together with Dimitri. Oh, that really helped. That like, wow, I cannot begin to explain how that really helped me turn around.
Yeah, seeing the
Mm,
bully t-
yeah,
or the kid who
seeing,
was bullied and then
yeah,
became the bully turn
yeah,
turned
yeah.
around.
Basically, seeing the binary brothers get back together.
Yeah.
Because
So
I've also got like a little binary brother relationship with a few people.
binary brothers.
Yeah.
So what was I gonna ask you? So I actually saw a question in one of the comments. And yeah, if you guys have any questions for Sam, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll answer some. So if you have any questions about his story or anything, just comment it down below. So oh wait, Drunk 3PO. Hey, what's up, man? Loving this stream. Hey, thank you. Do you know who Drunk 3PO is? Have you heard of him?
No.
All right, he's a YouTuber. He does some Star Wars stuff. He does like charity stuff. He's really cool.
Yeah, I'll check him out after the stream.
Yeah, he's really funny. I love his stuff. Thanks, Drunk. I appreciate that. It was not necessary, but appreciate that. Um, so I'm curious. I got a question on one of my comments. Well, it's for you, but it was a really interesting question actually. It was when you were being bullied, um, did you hand like how did you were there time did you how do I word this? Were you gonna go down? Did you feel like you might go down the Hawk path, like, or the Miguel path, being bullied, like with
Uh,
Hawk being like darker and kind of wanting to, so he wouldn't be bullied. He became the bully. With Miguel, he didn't want to become the bully. He just wanted to stop it and stop other people from being bullied. So like, what was there any like times where you maybe lean towards the Hawk side, the Miguel side?
that's a good question. Oof. I think I was like feeling like I would like when I started watching, when I fully started watching Cobra Kai, I thought that I would go down the Miguel path because obviously I knew that I would never want to be the bully because my goal now is basically to help other people who are getting bullied to like overcome it and stand up to the bullies physically and mentally. Mentally,
I
obviously.
love these Cobra Kai quotes. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I always try. I always try to insert Cobra Kai quotes wherever I can
That's
because
me too. That's me
I
too.
feel like they are like so inspirational.
They are. Even if I'm like even if like the littlest things that don't mean anything,
Mm.
like like I'll just quote Cobra Kai and like I'll be like sorry that was a Cobra Kai quote.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm like that with my friends, and they like this is like I could say like a Cobra Kai quote like Cobra Kai never dies, and they'll be like, what?
What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
but we get it. We
Yeah,
get it. It's just like part of our
yeah.
nature. Um, okay. So what were you saying about the
Um,
Miguel? You
yeah,
want
I feel like I'm going to. I like to be more the like if we talk about split. Like personally, I split the seasons into different perspectives. So, season one, I'm more of the Miguel path. Season two, the Miguel path. Season three, I'm more of the like at the beginning of season three, more like the Miguel path, and obviously when obviously Hawk turned and joined Johnny and Daniel's team up. Obviously, I feel like I was more like him because I'm like I've got the toughness of Hawk, but then I've also got the passionate of Miguel and Sam.
yeah. That's great.
And I've actually got a question here from one of my Instagram followers. It says
Yeah.
during your journey through your autumn, did you ever feel alone or and isolated? Did I ever feel no one was ever there for? And also, what advice would I give to a person struggling with mental health problems?
It's a great question.
So yeah, I feel like I did obviously when I was getting bullied feel alone and isolated because it was like I felt like I was different than everyone else. Like I just wanted to be like a part of something, if you get what I mean. I just wanted to like be a part of something, have like a friends. And then second part of the question, I did feel like I felt like quite alone because I before now I used to like literally like I actually put the reason I've got this blanket over me is I call it my stress blanket, and it basically what it does is it applies pressure to my body and prevents overstimulation and my tics. So basically, what I used to do would put my head under it and just like not come out of it till the next day when I would have to go to school. And then obviously, advice I would give would be to like just keep fighting and like just keep fighting and that I know it's hard and I know it's hard to like face up to the bullies, but you've just got to do what you got to do and to fight back and show the bullies and just I mean, I'm sorry, I am gonna say another Cobra Kai quote.
I know what you're gonna
Yeah, you got to show the bullies of the world that we're not afraid.
say. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's important to piggyback off Sam, fight back
yeah,
with like not with like violence because and that kind of brings
yeah. Because
there's this
my
comment
son,
from Wild Man Beyond. Hey Sam, I'm glad you took lessons from Cobra Kai instead of 13 Reasons Why Bonsai, which that's true. I don't know if you ever saw 13 Reasons Why.
no, I don't think I have.
You know, it's a show about high school kids, and it shows like when some
Oh
kids
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah,
being
oh yeah,
bullied.
yeah. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, it shows like when some kids are being
Yeah,
bullied, like it shows like the dark things that they're willing to do. So, you know, as tough as it may be, like resorting to like if you're being bullied, don't like resort to violence on someone else or on yourself. It's important. There's other ways to fight
yeah,
back. And I know this is a crease line. I know this is a crease line, but you have to fight smart. You know what I mean? There's other ways to fight and to win without um being violent, you know? And it's tough, when you're being bullied. It's like sometimes you feel like there's like you don't know what to do. There's no other way, but there's always a way. And look at Sam. Look at how he's handled his situation with like through his actions, through joining theater and through karate. It wasn't even at the bullies, right? You didn't like
mm.
did you did you deal with the bullies individually? Did you say anything to them, or did
Uh,
anything happen with them?
well, at first I wouldn't really do anything because I was too nervous to, because I was scared of what they might do to me. But then eventually I started like telling teachers and telling my parents, well, my parents, my mum, because I've grown up without a father, so it's really just been me and my mum. So like, I also got bullied because of it just being my mum, and yeah, and I still do find it hard to cope with everything because my mum is actually sick because she's been diagnosed with MS, more commonly known as multiple sclerosis, I think it is. So obviously, I'm having to learn to be more independent now, which is like, for me, is quite scary because yeah, because it's quite hard for me to do some stuff independently. Like, I find it hard to like go out and order food by myself and all that.
Yeah, because you're still a kid, you know.
Yeah,
That's something you shouldn't have to do at this age.
mm,
But obviously, you know, life is tough like that. And I'm sorry to hear
yeah,
about your mom.
yeah,
It's- Um, but so you told your mom about the bullies, and then
yeah,
did they call this they called the school or?
yeah. Basically, what mum did was went down to the school and spoke to the head of year, and basically sorted out so like they made it so that I had early access to lunch. I could leave lessons for lunch about 10 minutes, about 5, 10 minutes early, and they gave me a little common room to hang out in, so I didn't get bullied at lunches and breaks. But obviously, the bullying was still going on, obviously, but it just like made it so that I could had a place to be, so I didn't, so I wasn't like on my own or anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been quite an emotional journey, and like looking back at it, last night, UK time, I was like looking back on all the stuff that I've been through, and literally last night was probably one of the most emotional nights I've ever had because I've been thinking about all the stuff I've been through, like my friends, um, my unfortunately my granddad's death. Obviously, mentioned my granddad's death on the members only live stream. My granddad actually died from stage 4 cancer, I think it was. He died on the 4th of June, so obviously I've got the 1 year since his death coming up, so I will probably do a live stream on that to like celebrate his life, and then also do like some other stuff to celebrate his life and all that. Because my granddad was probably the most legendary, is probably the, because and let me say this, my granddad's last words were, Sam, always be nice and always be good. Those were his last words, and they mean, brother, I will be with you always. And yeah, so
Those are very good words.
yeah,
Very good
I
words.
mean
Yeah.
and he was probably the most um kind, respectful, and honourable person you would have ever met. Honestly, anyone who ever met my granddad is lucky to have met him in his life.
Yeah. He's
Mm,
had an impact on everyone
yeah,
he's come across.
yeah, and I get a lot of that messages on Instagram saying like, and on Facebook how I impact a lot of people's lives. Like, even just if like I see him just once, for, like say like 10 minutes or something, they say that I've already had an impact on their life because of how nice I am and that.
Yeah. Well, I told you this before we started, but we have 72 people watching, and if if one person You know, even if there's just one person here who's going through something similar, this might be something they needed, you know.
Yeah.
You really never know, but
Mm.
there could always be someone out there who's going through what you're going through, and they don't know
Mm.
how to handle it. They don't know what they should do, and they don't know if things will
Yeah.
get better. But I think you're a prime example of
Mm.
things do get better. So like
Yeah.
if there is like someone out there now, if like anyone's watching, like who's going through something that you went through, and they need some advice, they need help, just like you were at your lowest point. Like let's say this person's at their lowest point, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say to like just talk to someone, you know, talk to someone that you trust and that like you really relate to and can feel like you can trust. And obviously, I know it's hard to talk about it because like even I find it hard to talk about things and talk about my experiences and that. But that's what I do. I love talking about like my experiences and sharing with the people. But yeah, just stay strong and just um just keep fighting. And I know it may be like it may take a couple of weeks, may even take a couple of years to get to there, but your time will come.
That's great.
Like, mm,
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to keep fighting for it, and
mm,
it won't be easy, and sometimes, you know, it doesn't stop. You know,
mm,
I've for me personally, um by putting myself out here like on YouTube, I've kind of destined it's kind of like destined, or it's inevitable that I will have people that bully me, and I
mm,
have gotten a lot of mean comments, rude comments, and in the beginning it was very overwhelming, and I was definitely thinking about quitting because I just I didn't think I could handle it. But I kept doing it, and I decided, you know, there's people out, you can't listen to these bullies.
mm.
Like people will just want to tear you down. Don't
And,
if they're saying like bad stuff about you, like, oh, you're this, you're that, don't change who you are to adhere to them. You can change who you are, but that's not that that's not going to make them think any different of you, and you're going to feel worse about yourself. The only way you're going to feel good about yourself is to be yourself and to not listen to those people who are trying to change you because they just want to see you unhappy. But if you show them that you're yourself, that they don't affect you, which it's easier said, I mean it's easier said than done to just do that, and
yeah,
it's not easy, but if you really work on it, and it's hard, but just take the time, just know it will get better. Just be yourself, and don't let them change who you are. That's the most important thing that I
yeah,
believe personally from my experience. Because you
yeah,
know, even in school, you know, when I was younger, like in middle school, like I had a lot of friends. I was like always hanging out with people. Then like high school came, and like all of a sudden there was kind of like a change for me personally. I found myself like not with those same friends, and then it kind of just like kept going down and down and down for me, and I started becoming stressed with school. I didn't have any people really to look to, like other than my family. So it was really, really tough. Um, you know, but I was able to just over time really starting this channel, um, putting myself out there more, like just doing different things to to feel better about myself. And I think even doing YouTube, you know, you could do anything, but like doing YouTube is a great way to start. If you have a passion, if you um feel strongly about something, that might be a good way to start. And Sam, right, you've built you have a lot of friends in person, you said,
yeah,
but also you have a whole nother friend group on YouTube,
yeah.
right? The YouTube
Yeah,
community.
I've got also like friend group on YouTube, and I've also got really good friends on Instagram. Like the thing that's most unbelievable for me is that I'm able to have like friends who are like on the other side of the world to me. Like it just amazes me that like we're able to talk and like you're from America and I'm from here
Yeah.
in little old boring England. By the way, England's not boring, it's actually quite cool. I just say that because I'm in quite a bad part. Um yeah, and the fact that I can speak to like people like you guys, the fans of this of Julie's channel, and the fact that I can like speak to like the Cobra Kai cast on like the fact that I've met like people like who I've met on some streams like
Too many people.
Jesse. Yeah, there's like I can name some of my favourites. My favourites have been, and this is all thanks to Shamoon. Jesse Cove, definitely my top number one because that was just awesome.
He's a great guy. He's very nice.
Yeah. Aaron Bradley Daniel, who plays
Counselor Blatt, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Hero Coda and Janelle Kerfman,
Yeah.
the stunt people, and then obviously the Mikey, I think I met the character Mikey, and then also I met the last one I met was Cara Anne Marie, who plays Sue.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so great. I'm very happy for you. And that's great that not only have you met YouTube people, but you met Cobra Kai actors.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
and,
That's so cool.
And I did actually had the opportunity to actually meet at least two of them in real life at this Comic-Con event in Liverpool. Think it was Jacob Bertrand and Peyton List, but unfortunately I can't go this year because of obviously college and I've got sensory issues with light and sound.
Okay.
So I'm actually having to wait for noise cancelling headphones, which blocks out background noise. So hopefully next year I'll be able to go to it.
Oh yeah, this is the one they're doing in the UK, right?
Yeah, this year it's happening in Liverpool in November.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm sure they'll do a bunch of more stuff for. I'm sure there'll be more opportunities for you, man. Drunk 3PO. Wait, did you say I didn't have to do it? Or please send more. Thank you, Drunk 3PO. I appreciate that, buddy. Guys, go check out Drunk 3PO. He's a really nice dude and he's really funny. He's really cool. I like his channel a lot. Wild Man Beyond. Oh yeah, Sam, you answered this, but if you want to answer it again, Sam, were you familiar with Karate Kid before Cobra Kai?
Yes, I've been into Karate Kid pretty much all my life, really. Yeah, started when I was like very, very young. Obviously, I didn't start doing karate. Actual karate, I was like 4 years old, maybe 5 at latest. Yeah, and I've been into Karate Kid ever since.
Yeah.
And then I've got a question here from my friend. He says, what's the most best live you and me have done? Obviously, somebody. So he asks, what's the best live stream like you've ever done and I've ever done? So, yeah, do you want to answer that first?
The best live stream that I've ever done?
Yeah.
Does this count interviews? I mean, I don't.
Yes, I guess it does.
You know, I don't. Every interview is amazing, like for me personally, because I just love like all of the different aspects. Like whether I'm talking to a major character, it's like amazing because they're like such a big character in the show and I'm just such a big fan. Or even if it's like a minor character who is in one episode, to hear their story, because sometimes those characters have like the most interesting stories like behind the scenes. There's like all these things like what?
Yeah.
So like yeah, what were you gonna say?
Because for me it's like the way I say it's like on screen it's all like ice cream and unicorns and ponies and rainbows and all that, but behind the scenes it's just like a tsunami.
Yeah, like
chaos.
Yeah, you could have like I'm just making this up, but like you could have like a character who maybe just walks in and says hello and then leaves, and then you interview them and it's like, well, originally I was Kreese's younger sister's cousin, but then they changed the script. I'm like, what? This character who's just gonna say hello was Kreese's, like not that specifically. That's obviously I made that up.
I'm actually working on my own script at the moment, my own like sort of Cobra Kai related script, and I'm thinking of like getting a bunch of people together to like maybe do it on my YouTube channel at some point and on Instagram and that.
What do you mean? What kind of script?
It's like a script, like writing my own script, like sort of like a Cobra Kai related script, like it's basically like thinking of it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like basically like if like Cobra Kai happened like differently, like different plot twists and that.
So like your own story within Cobra
Yeah.
Kai.
Yeah.
Like your own plot, but with the same characters.
Yeah, same characters, but like different plot and that.
When does it? Because each season there's like different dojos. When does yours take place?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still in the planning stages of it.
Oh, cool! I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so basically, what I'm doing is I'm waiting for season 4 to come out before I actually get to writing the script. Because obviously, I'm gonna like binge watch season 1, 2, and 3, like leading up to season 4. Then obviously watch season 4 on my own, and then maybe do like what my impressions were, kind of like similar thing to what you did with season 3.
Oh, like the live reaction right after.
Yeah, like obviously depending on what time it is, obviously in the UK, because I know season 3, 4 is in the UK. It released at like 8 in the morning.
Oh wow!
Because obviously I'm 5 hours ahead of Eastern time.
Yeah.
Because it's like 5 o'clock where I am.
Yeah,
So
I literally just woke up.
Yeah. I obviously cause I had a dance workshop at my drama group yesterday, and I was doing salsa dance for 3 hours, and literally I did not wake up till I think, well, probably about 8 a.m. Then obviously fell back to sleep, woke up again, back to sleep, woke up again, fell back to sleep. Then I woke up for the last time, just before I obviously came on, before we started the live.
Yeah. And there's a good question in the chat here from Wildman Beyond. He said, is the lunchroom fight scene, the one with Miguel, is that your favorite scene since it hit home for you? Yeah, like what is that scene of Miguel standing up to the bullies after being tormented like for like months? What does that scene mean to you?
The one in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that scene changed my whole perspective on life, really. Yeah, basically I saw it, and then I saw the way he stood up to Kyler and Brooks. I think Brooks was there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
there's 4 of them.
Yeah, it just amazed me on how he went from this nerdy new kid to being strong, and that. Obviously, I didn't agree with the no mercy side. There were some elements that I didn't 100% agree on. But yeah, apart from that, I thought it did touch me quite a lot, and obviously changed my perspective on it, and changed my perspective on life and how I act. Because I actually wrote a speech on my laptop, and I think I did it on a Instagram live as well. And I'll just say one of the bits I said in the speech. I said something along the lines of this, just think to yourself, who are you with your friends or your co-workers if you work? Who are you? Who are you around your family and loved ones? Who are you with yourself? Like I wrote that, and I find that sort of somehow relates to like when Miguel started seeing the error of the no mercy thing.
Yeah. So would you say um that's a very great quote, by the way. I really like that.
Yeah,
Are you, but when you were getting bullied, do you think you were do you think you were different people, like with your family, by yourself, with
yeah,
your friends?
yes, I definitely was. I feel like I had like basically a bunch of different personalities I was trying to be, where all I needed to do was just to be myself. Where like with my friends, I was this cool guy, this really cool person. With my family, I don't even know who I was. Then myself, I was just this lonely kid with no friends who was a loser, a nerd, a freak. Obviously, I've learned from that now, and I don't call myself that anymore. I tend to see myself now as the guy who fought through like tons of bad things, tons of operations. Because I've had quite a lot of trips to the hospital with like operations and all that. And probably the scariest moment of my life was being involved I was in a house fire. Basically,
Oh,
I think something exploded and it set fire, and I was in my bedroom. Me and my mum were trapped by the flames. Basically, like we had the stairwell. Like I'm trying to see where on camera is like here. My
yeah.
room is here. Mum's room is the other side of the staircase. And yeah, so and if it wasn't for the brave firefighter who pulled me out, I would not be here today.
Oh my God.
Literally, if he'd have been like a couple minutes later, I would have died.
Wow. So when
It
did that
was
happen?
uh load of years ago. I think I was about 2 or 3 years old at the time.
Oh my God.
So I could have I actually was unconscious. They actually I was unconscious, so they had to like monitor me. I was in hospital for quite a few months, and did suffer from smoke inhalation, and I do have asthma, so that I'm not sure if I had it at the time. Um, yeah, and yeah, so that was probably one of the scariest moments of my life.
My God. That's insane.
And
Um
then
th- sounds like you have like all these like there's always like all these different things that
yeah,
that's crazy, but
mm,
I'm glad you're okay. I know everyone's
yeah.
glad you're okay. That's definitely is that when did
Mm.
your, because I'm sure if you were two or three, you must have not remembered any of that, right?
No, I only remember it from what my mum told me.
When did she tell you? When were you like
Uh,
old enough to understand?
yeah, about I think I was like 10, somewhere between the ages of 10 and 14. Because obviously my autism, I have um oh, I forgot the name of it. It takes longer for me to grow up, or whatever the word is. I can't remember it right now.
No worries.
Um, yeah, I've actually got another question from my friend.
Yeah.
What's my favorite dojo, and Sam and Miguel, or Tory, or Miguel and Tory, and why?
Oh,
Um, okay, I'll go first. My favorite dojo is probably Eagle Fan, because it's got the call of Cobra Kai, and it's also got the peace of Miyagi Do. It's like it's sort of in between, like it
the
shows
balance.
offense while showing defense at the same time. Whereas Cobra Kai just focuses on offense, Miyagi just focuses on defense. And I like to focus on both. So like if I'm forced to fight, then obviously strike hard and yeah, but show mercy. I wouldn't strike first. I would only strike if they strike first.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the lunchroom fight, Miguel didn't.
Yeah.
He was being pushed by Kyler, and Kyler actually punched him first. So
Yeah, he was like the bit where he goes like, it's not lame as karate, boom boom, it's Cobra Kai. He had the right to punch Kyler because
yeah.
Kyler was going to swing at him, but that's when Miguel blocked it.
Oh yeah, that was definitely he was defending himself, he was defending
Yeah.
Sam. And look, after it's not like Miguel was beating people up after that, you know,
Mm,
he beat up the main bully of the school who was beating
mm,
everyone up, and then after that there was no violence in the school
yeah.
until season 2,
Yeah,
episode 10.
until season two when Tory decided to go crazy. And you know when I was there, I had the old channel CK Fanatic Summit. I actually did I was with one of my friends who's called Izzy. I think you might know her or heard of her from one of Shamoon's streams or something.
Yeah.
We actually said, I actually said in one of our podcasts that we used to do together, what if Tory never lost it? What if Tory was only doing that to gain Robbie's trust?
What if she did that whole thing to gain Robbie's
Yeah,
trust?
like, what if she went crazy to try and persuade Robbie that he's fighting on the wrong side? Like,
That's a good theory.
mm,
I'm just trying to think. I mean, she couldn't have known what was gonna happen. She didn't know that Miguel was gonna get put in a coma. She would have never.
yeah, well,
She
I
would have
don't
never
think
done that
she,
if.
and I don't think she actually overreacted. I think she had to perfectly fine to what she saw, because obviously well, I do think there's a bit of fault to blame on Miguel for not stopping Sam, because after all, Sam was drunk after the drinking game. So I
Yeah.
do sort of blame Miguel for that fight. But if you were to really blame anyone, you would blame Tory the most for starting the fight.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely an issue of communication because
Yeah,
even though Tori saw Miguel and Sam kissing, she never confronted Miguel about it. You know, she could have
mm,
confronted Miguel about it, but instead she
yeah.
decided
She
to.
could have like on the first day of school, maybe like just gone to Miguel, pulled him aside, and asked like, why did he kiss Sam or Sam kiss him?
Yeah, find out
And
what
like,
actually happened and
yeah,
then break up with
because
him. But
the way I see it was that Sam was drunk. Sam bumped into Miguel. No, I think it was Miguel who bumped in, who found Sam, wasn't it? Yeah,
Sam,
it was.
Sam fell and Miguel like caught her. But then
Yeah,
they both kissed each other.
yeah, yeah, because I think it was kind of natural reaction because they were both because Miguel was Sam's ex after all,
Yeah, exactly.
and
So
the relationships kind of confuse me in Kokai because like with Sam it's like first Kyler, then Miguel, then Robbie, then now back to Miguel. It's also confusing.
I know, just like Daniel said, it's funny.
Yeah,
So let's get a couple questions before we wrap up for
yeah,
Sam. So if anyone in the chat has a question for Sam, um comment it below and we'll answer some. Let's see. Um there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll
yeah,
kind of wait a bit. But if you see any
yeah,
questions that you want to answer,
yeah.
just
Yeah, I'll just pull the chat up on my phone as well.
do you see the chat?
Yeah, I see the chat, but I'm just gonna put it up on my phone as well, so I can see clearly.
All right, cool. And thank you to everyone who's watching today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Definitely this is an important thing to
Mm.
talk about
Yeah.
bullying, because everyone goes through it. And
Yeah, and I feel that bullying and autism and mental health does not get talked about enough, really.
yeah,
It doesn't get talked about enough. Like people don't give it enough what's the word? Um oh
they don't give it enough
credit, if that makes
yeah,
any
like
sense.
they don't like talk about it and think about it really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why definitely Sam, with your that's why your channel is really important, that because that's an issue
Mm,
that you feel strongly about, that it's
mm,
not being talked about enough. So that's now with your platform, you can
yeah.
spread light on it so people understand. I definitely learned a lot from,
Yeah.
I didn't know all these things when I was before talking to you. So I
Yeah.
definitely learned a lot from talking to you, and I'm
Mm.
sure a lot of people here um
Yeah,
did
and
as well.
I'm pretty sure that if like when you watch it, like if even for the people who haven't watched this live and watch it back as a video, like years to come, they'll probably like learn some things as well. And obviously, I have my YouTube channel up and running now. Got my I think I dropped my first video like yesterday or something.
Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, and Sam's channel's in the description, so you guys
yeah.
can go check it out. But yeah, it's very important just to not judge someone based on their
Mm.
appearance, based on
So,
what you think, because you really don't know. You don't know all about someone's life. Like what, like Sam has had all these things that have happened to him, and you would never know all these things if you
mm,
didn't like talk about it today. So
yeah,
it's
and basically there's this really inspirational saying that summer family that basically we say to never judge a book by its cover.
yeah,
Mm,
exactly, and a lot of people do, which is not
yeah.
good. um it's
Unfortunately, we live in a world where society can be really cruel and quite harsh, unfortunately, but we just gotta learn to live with it and try to push past it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes,
Mm,
people assuming things about other people because of what they look like. But instead of assuming what someone instead of assuming what someone is like just by looking at them, talk to the person, get to know them, and you'll be surprised. You know what I
mm,
mean. You can't tell who someone is just by looking at them. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know the type of person they are. So don't ever just assume something about someone, because they could, on the outside, they may seem like they have it all. They can seem like they're
mm,
perfect. They can seem like they're one way, but on the inside, they might be going home and crying every night, depressed, because they feel like they have no friends, even if at school they're the most popular kid. Even the popular kids might have like
mm,
stuff going on. So just treat everyone with kindness, treat everyone fairly. You never know what they're going through, and maybe by simple acts of kindness, you can really help someone out. I've heard all these stories about like someone about like people just doing little things, and then those little things really have an impact on the people that are being helped. So that's definitely important. So
mm.
yeah. Um
Like I'd say that I really like all these kind of comments you guys are putting in the chat right now. I really appreciate all these nice comments people are putting in the chat.
Yeah, there's very nice
Yeah,
comments. Really, really, really good chat today. So,
yeah.
um, let's see. I'm trying to look for a good question. All right. I think it's Mikhail. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. What do you think of this theory? What if Hawk's purple hair makes his personality like the Incredible Hulk? So when Hawk is calm, he will be like Eli, and when he is angry, he will be like Hawk. What do you think about that?
Well, that's quite a good theory, actually. Um, yeah, I think there could be a possibility in that maybe sort of happening. Like, I definitely see that happening. Like obviously, like when he's like dojo practice and like with his friends, obviously him being calm and that, and not aggressive. And then obviously like if like he gets like confronted by one of the Cobra Kai's in public, and if they strike him, obviously like he'll probably like attack them as well, like defense purposes.
Yeah. I think if he changes his hair, it's definitely like symbolism for he doesn't want to be known for what he did with that red mohawk because he did a lot of bad stuff with the red
Mm,
mohawk. So I think
yeah.
the purple, he still looks
Oh,
cool.
oh my
Yeah.
god. I just saw something.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Season 2, it was Hawk who trashed the Miyagi-Do dojo, wasn't it?
Yep.
What if, get this, what if he tells Daniel, or Daniel finds out that it was Hawk, and then they'll have a, like, obviously talk. What do you think would happen?
Oh no.
That's how it would go.
Yeah, yeah,
It'd
like,
be a little
yeah,
awkward.
yeah, like, I would definitely go, like, awkward.
That's definitely
Yeah,
a lot of people have been talking about that because the show likes to there's a lot of things that happen like maybe season 1 that were addressed in season 3 that you forgot
mm,
about. So the show definitely likes to revisit old plots, old ideas. So I think that's going to be kind of like I think that'll be an episode of its own is Hawk and Daniel
yeah.
Hawk telling
Because, like,
Daniel about what happened, how he trashed the dojo, and then the whole episode is kind of how Hawk
mm,
shows Daniel he's changed.
yeah, because, like, what I really want is, like, I want, obviously, a Daniel and Hawk moment, and or Daniel and one of someone from Cobra Kai moment. We've already had a Daniel and Miguel moment, so that wouldn't really work. So maybe like a Daniel and Hawk would be the most would be the best one to go for. And then I definitely want to see a Johnny and Samantha moment.
Yeah. Like Samantha hit his car.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
Johnny's like, "Why'd you hit my car?"
yeah.
That'd be funny if they revisited that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because like that's from like the very first episode. Like to go from season 4 all the way to the very first episode would be like that would be crazy.
Yeah. Um. Wait. Greg said he made a $500 bet with his brother that Sam will win.
I'd
Well,
be careful when betting money, okay?
Greg, I'm hoping you're right.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know, so you don't lose all that money, man. It's
If you
funny.
even have that much money.
uh DQRE says, "Who wins the All Valley tournament for you?" And I think this is a good question to end off on. So Sam, who do you think?
I personally think, well, if we're talking about like what will go well with the story, because they say that, because I think John Hurt said that they've got enough storyline for 6 seasons. So if they were to continue to at least a season 5, I would say that most likely someone from, because I personally want to see someone from Cobra Kai win, because we've never seen Kreese win on screen yet. So if I was to pick someone from Cobra Kai, I would say probably Robby, because it could be like he gets some like payback on Miguel for winning the last All Valley or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree that having Cobra Kai win would be more interesting for the story. Now, while I think Miyagi Feng has such a better dojo, I think like all their students are gonna make it to the semifinals, or all their main students. You have Miguel, Sam, Hawk, Dimitri, Chris,
Yep. Nick,
Mitch, Bert, Nate.
Nate,
Like they have
yeah,
so many guys there that I think a lot of them are gonna get like when you see that tournament scoreboard, you'll have a lot of Miyagi Fang people, but then for Cobra Kai, it's pretty much
it's like
Tory,
Robbie or
Robby,
Robbie, Tory, Kyler,
Kyler, maybe Sean.
yeah,
That's a theory.
and
But
maybe one of those new characters as well, maybe.
yes. Devin and Kenny. Devin and Kenny.
Yeah,
Well, we don't know. My
but
theory.
I've not really heard much about them because I basically just like tend to not really listen to many spoilers because I want it to be like a surprise for me.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. All we know is that they were 2 new characters announced. We
Yeah.
have like one sentence character descriptions. We don't know who they're fighting for. We don't know their stories, but
Yeah, we don't even know if they even are joining start doing going to do any of the karate.
I think they are, just because they
Yeah.
said something like
They're all because they said
they're gonna
something
join a
they-
dojo or
Yeah, it's
something.
most likely because if they didn't say anything, then it was most likely they would be like a side character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fact that they announced the characters,
Mm.
if they did it in if they were gonna be in like one episode, they would have never made a big announcement like that. But yeah, I think even though Miyagi Fang has a lot better competitors, I think Robby winning would be very interesting. But hopefully, I think it's gonna be a little more complicated than we think. Like, I don't think they're just gonna do, because we never really were at this we never the writers like to surprise us, and we never really had a season where we were like because when season 1 came out, people weren't predicting, oh, Miguel's gonna win the All Valley, Robbie's gonna win the All Valley. People were just like, oh, this is a new show. But now that the show's come out and we have this All Valley tournament at the end of the season, there's this expectation of who's gonna win. So I think the writers are gonna trick us a bit. Hopefully, who no matter who wins, it's surprising and it's done interesting, and I think it will be. So before we wrap up, do you want to is there any last things, any last messages that you want to tell for everyone watching out there?
Just to stay strong, and if you're struggling, just stay strong and keep fighting. You'll get there eventually, even if it takes days, weeks, months, years. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, never give up. Never give up. That's definitely it.
Push forward like champions.
Yeah, or else you get stuck like cement.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, it was an honor. Thank you so much for coming on, for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, this was definitely really great. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I think everyone watching, I think, really learned something from it. So thank you for joining in, for helping us out here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to take us out with the the line? You know the line, Sam? You want to take us out with it?
Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, Cobra Kai never dies.